Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. The Blackhawks beat the Calgary Flames 4-3 in regulation at the United Center. We were there. We did some postgame. Thanks for being patient with us. Sorry we're late, but we wanted to get some postgame reaction with it being just the two of us today. You're going to hear from Luke Richardson, Colin Blackwell, Connor Murphy, me, Greg, probably some people in the chat. Steven might chime in on a couple things. So thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button for us on the YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. Same deal if you're a podcast listener. Like, subscribe, 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please. And we're not only late because of Luke Richardson. We're also late because we had to shove some delicious barbecue into our face, and we want to thank the people at Smokestaff. Follow them on Instagram at Smokestaff, SMOQUE, staff. You know how to spell staff. My God, I just had a pulled pork sandwich or two before we got on the air, and it was awesome. The sriracha barbecue sauce was amazing. Man, that was so good.
For me, that was, and I told them this, it wasn't just because they were standing there. That was easily the best brisket I've ever had.
I got to get the brisket after the show, but we want to thank Mark Stafford and all the people at Smokestaff for coming out, bringing us some food. They started their whole thing as a barbecue competition team, and now they're catering events, and they've got their own rubs and their own sauces. They're always there at street fests and brewery pop-ups, block parties, so keep your eyes open for Smokestaff. And again, follow them on Instagram at Smokestaff, SMOQUESTAFF on Instagram. And man, I cannot wait to get after some of that. So let's just do a one-segment show. We made people wait, but you know, they got stuff to do. They don't mind if we do a 10-minute show.
Sure, you can catch the Bears losing just at the very end.
All right, let's talk about this game. This was a lot of fun, and I added, before this game began, I opened up the old Remember When file and plugged in the lines because this is going to be one we're going to remember for a long time. You had Jason Dickinson, Philipp Kurashev, and Colin Blackwell as your top line.
I tweeted out before the game started that the Earth is over 4 billion years old, and we all managed to be alive when Colin Blackwell was a top-line winger. And then he went out and put up 3 points.
He told you.
In my face.
Not only that, so we'll give you the 3 stars so you can get the votes in for the 4-star. I think this one might be a little closer than the usual. 3rd star, Nikita Zaitsev with a goal and an assist. Jared Tenorti with 2 assists. Colin Blackwell, 2 goals and assists. Plus 3 shots on goal, 10 shot attempts in 1935 of ice time. He was a top liner today. Those are Bedard numbers.
I mean, he fit the role. Now playing the role of Connor Bedard is Colin Blackwell.
CB, baby.
And
CB.
listen, yeah, hey, it's the initials. But, you know, and to clarify it, my tweet about Colin Blackwell was not making fun of Colin Blackwell.
No, it just
it's
is what
making
it is.
fun of the situation because I enjoy Colin Blackwell. He is a great little energy player, but in no way, shape, or form should he ever be on your top line. And he will probably admit that himself, saying, but he made the most of the situation. He played like a top line winger tonight.
Since he's come back, he has been, to me, the most consistent Blackhawk with no qualifier. I'm not even saying, like, aside from Bedard or aside from so-and-so. No. Since Blackwell has returned to the lineup, every game he's played, he has played well. Now, he has a different skill set. He's not going to end up every game with 10 shot attempts and 3 points, of course. But he has brought the energy every game. I tweeted it out during the game. He works for everything he gets, and he works harder than anybody on the team. And it's contagious. Connor Murphy was asked about it. Luke Richardson was asked about it. And, yeah, it rubs off on teammates when they look at him and say, all right, look what he's doing. Why can't I do that? I'm going to. And you've seen the battle from this team. And Luke said it, you'll hear from him in a little bit, against the Rangers and against the Devils. Yeah, they came up short, but you saw a more combative Blackhawks team. Well, and it's rubbing off. It's working.
Yeah, and Blackwell knows. You know, he will hear from him in his post-game speech, whatever it was, answers.
Sure.
That he knows. He knows he's not the biggest guy in the world. He knows he's not the most talented guy in the world. So he has to work his ass off. He said it's very hard to get to the NHL, and it's even harder to stay here. And now he's been given a chance to play more, play an extended role, and he's taking advantage of it. And that's all these guys right now for the next few days, few games. I mean, it certainly sounds like Jones and Radish and Joey Anderson are going to be back shortly. Not next game, but probably within the next 3 or 4.
Delights me.
Rem Pitlick will probably be here for Tuesday's game. So
yeah, I got to get my phone and now stop autocorrecting REM to all capital letters.
Yeah, you know,
because I'm not tweeting about the band anymore. I'm talking about a hockey player.
Well, you know, it might not. You might not have to do that very long because those guys are coming back. But and then you know and Conor Murphy said something that really caught my attention about that New Jersey game. That could have been the game that, and he, you know, that using the G word, galvanized this team because they started to fight for each other, and and I said before that game that this team needs to find that chip on its shoulder that it had last year. This team was missing a chip. It had shoulders but no chips, and then I didn't want them to have to lose Connor Bedard to find that chip, but it seems like they have. And that's what they need to do. They need to have that us against the world, nobody thinks we can win a game anymore attitude. And it starts right from the beginning, and they set the tone early. And Calgary
great first shift.
Yeah, Calgary had to play catch up. They were on their heels right from the get-go. And a difference that we saw today than we have in past games is when they gave up the 1-0 lead. They didn't, you know, then they fell by. Well, they were down. They were down 2-1. They didn't fold the tent. They didn't give up. So many other times they score first, and then it's close for a while, and then the other team goes ahead, and then all of a sudden it goes from 2-1 to 4-1, and like that.
Yeah.
But instead, Kurashev ties the game, and the third goal was not Blackwell. Who had the third goal?
The third goal was Zaitsev.
Yep. So, and by the way, again, not making fun of these guys. We just have to put them in their proper, you know, context. But is Zaitsev, Tenorti, Blackwell the worst 3 stars of the game in NHL history?
Yeah, I mean,
as far as those 3 guys should never be the 3 stars in the same game.
If you could,
in the regular season, that's like a preseason 3 stars.
If you could parlay though, like same game parlay 3 stars on DraftKings or wherever, and you put those 3 together, you'd be a millionaire right now, no matter what you put down.
Yeah, you could retire right now because you won a lot of money.
So we gave you the 3 stars. Here are the nominees for the chat's 4-star. You get to vote. Peter Mrazek stopped 28 of 31 shots. Alex Vlasic, how about this? 24-53, 2 shots, 3 shot attempts, and 5 block shots. And Zach Sanford with an assist, 13-42 of ice time and a hit. Good game for him.
Huge assist. Huge assist.
Yeah.
Biggest assist of the day.
Huge assist. I mean, that's a guy who basically just got here yesterday and was all of a sudden on the power play. You know what I mean? Like, hey, welcome to Chicago. Here's your jersey. Okay, you're on power play too, and you're going to play some significant minutes for us, and please go out there and make an impact.
Hey, that's what former Stanley Cup winners do.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
And it was kind of funny because we got to talk to him too in the locker room, and he was literally in town with the Tucson Roadrunners to play the Chicago Wolves. You were supposed to see him play.
I was supposed to see the Zach Sanford experience last night. I'm pissed I didn't.
Well, you got to see.
I was stuck with Josh Doan instead and Dylan Wells.
Yeah, well, Josh Doan might be something.
You can tell when you go to an AHL game who the NHL players are. Yeah. None of them are Wolves, and who are not.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Doan is an NHL player. He's not going to be a star.
No.
But he's an NHL player.
He's like,
there's no doubt about it.
He could be the next Colin Blackwell.
If he says his prayers and eats his vitamins, he might just be able to pull that off. But no, the Wolves.
I mean, maybe they need some future NHL talent on their roster. Weird how that works. We don't need any NHL prospects, and then we suck.
Interesting.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
Interesting business strategery. All right, why don't we take our first break, and when we come back, you're going to hear from, let's just do it in chronological order. You'll hear from Connor Murphy. You'll hear from Colin Blackwell. You'll hear from Luke Richardson. We're not going to do them all back-to-back, but some good stuff in there we want you to hear. And, yes, we are going to get to Lucas Reichel because he definitely deserves some conversation in this game. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at ComEd. It's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles, Greg. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
You know what? This is one of my favorite topics, and I was telling everybody in the press box
You were.
today,
It was kind of annoying.
I was like, hey, Charlie, come here. Did you know that the electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow? Whether you have one delivery van or like our guy, Charlie, the bacon guy, a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help you make the changes that make sense.
And I believe when the press box, as you were having these conversations, it was Jay Cohen who came to you and said, what should business owners do?
Yes, and Jay Cohen should go to comed.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Well, you could wait till after the show. Starting to make your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for the business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to comed.com/clean.
And when I was sitting next to him, I saw Nate Brown from Chicago Hockey Now. I believe he went to comed.com/clean. Is that the correct web address?
That is the correct one. And you should go there now after the show and see how electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
I think I saw Mark Lazarus driving back to Indiana in an electric vehicle from his business. So your message is getting through to the entire beat.
I want that.
He's got to get Harvey Wittenberg on board.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be a tough sell.
I think so. You might be.
He's still riding steam engines to work.
You know what's so crazy is of all the people in the press box, I see Harvey Wittenberg. I'm like, that's the dude. That's the guy. Him and Frank Pellico.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get starstruck around those two.
Those
like,
are
damn,
those
that's
are,
Harvey Wittenberg.
Those are dudes. That's the voice of my childhood right there. Every Hawks game at the stadium.
Blackhawks goal scored by number 27, Jeremy Roenick. He was the best. I love Harvey Wittenberg.
Hey, Harvey.
Nothing against
Gene Honda's great.
Gene Honda, but Harvey was great.
Hey, Harvey.
Almost as great as Empire Today.
Speaking
of
Harvey. Chicagoland legend.
Exactly. Harvey Wittenberg is the Empire Today. What Empire Today is to flooring, Harvey Wittenberg is to PA announcing.
Agreed.
And with Empire Today, not with Harvey Wittenberg, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. They cannot be beaten on quality, service, and speed. Look out for those copycats. They're out there trying to steal, trying to do what Empire does, but they can't because Empire is just the best at it. Use their virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how your new potential floors will look in any space in your home. You just take a picture and you can see what the new flooring will look like in that space. That is hugely clutch because I'm one of those people that just can't like visualize. My wife will say, I'm going to do this in the living room. I go, yeah, you just have to do it so I can see it because I don't know what you're talking about. So the virtual floor designer would be great for me. Schedule yourself a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for more details. Yeah, good stuff. I'm trying to think of somebody else on the beat. By the way, we did have pocket bacon today.
Yes, thank you, Charlie.
It gave us each 8 slices, and they're all gone.
And none of them made it to pregame warm-up.
Yeah, we didn't share with anybody.
Nope,
it was
screw
just
that.
I looked at it like this is breakfast.
Did any of them make it to postgame?
They didn't even make it to pregame warm-ups.
No, they were gone before the Hawks took the ice even to practice.
Bastards.
Hey,
We didn't want it to get colder.
if you thought that 16 slices of bacon was going to last an entire game between these two guys,
No, hell
that's
no.
shame on you.
No way. Yeah, absolutely
You
not.
guys are not forgiven. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know if you want.
Guess what? I don't either.
Yeah, the best part though is
I had bacon and you didn't.
it was one of those the best day ever games. I think there's a second one they've done. I enjoy that, where it's really kid-focused and everything. The atrium had puppies to play with.
Yes. Puppies.
Just little kids were going into the little cage, and there's little dogs laying around playing. There was one dog that was just done.
Yes.
It was this little puppy
Slept
like
the
this
whole
big,
time.
and it just laid on its side.
That was that. If you ever wanted a sales pitch to get me to adopt you, that was it. All I do is sleep. Come home, little guy.
Also, the women running it were very much in our style of the kind of ladies we like. A little bit, little tattooed, little pierced, a little dangerous looking.
I would totally.
I'm in.
I would totally rescue a puppy from them.
Yes, absolutely. All right, why don't we hear from Connor Murphy? He was the first Hawk to start. I missed the beginning of this thing here as I'm rigging up my new microphone. But I think the important stuff here from Connor Murphy is here, so give it a listen. This courtesy of me and my phone.
Especially at home, too, when you have some pride and have your home crowd going behind you. And I think that guys really use that energy.
What's been the difference between home and road? It has been such a big difference in basketball.
Road's always harder. It's harder with matchups, and the teams, for whatever reason, at home just feel fresher, feel stronger, seem to jump on their game and get a little more momentum swing sometimes. So I don't know if we haven't done as good of a job weathering it in certain ways on the road, and some of the games, obviously every game's a little different, but at home I think we just have a little more of the inner confidence. Each guy feels like they're in more of their comfort zone, I guess.
It's such a cliche, but given all the injuries, are you guys doing this bunker mentality, nobody believes in us against the world kind of thing?
We mentioned a little bit of that before a game. I think it's a good mindset. It's a fun mindset to have, and you don't want to, obviously, you want to be a team that teams are chasing. We're obviously not in that situation right now, and it's I think you can create a storyline for each game and each part of the season, and for us, I think that's a great way to go at it now. Is realizing we have a lot of guys out, and for everyone to come and band together quick and win games by work ethic, really.
How much could the last game be a galvanizing moment where you guys stick up for Connor, and then it just felt like everyone was sticking up for each other the rest of the way?
Yeah, that felt great just because of the emotion we brought, and it showed that guys really do care for each other and take it personal when guys get injured or taken liberties of. So it was fun, and little moments like that are big in a season. Like I said, it brings emotion of each other and pride and a camaraderie, that realizing that everyone is in it for each other, and that no matter what's going on outside noise, that you're gonna have your guy next to you by your side.
When you say taking liberties, can you explain?
Liberties meaning when a guy hits our guy and he gets hurt. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Blackwell plays like his hair's on fire every shift. Do you need that when you're in a situation like this?
He's like that off the ice too. I think he's got energy. He's always got energy, and it's big. Yeah, that's that. You can see that feeds momentum, and it feeds a line. And when a guy plays that energy and scores, you see the celebrations and see the passion to want to win the game. It's contagious to everyone.
How much, I'm not to take away from anybody else, but with Foligno and Bedard especially, leading scorer, leader in this room and everything, and how much are you going to miss their presence?
Yeah, big time we are, and it's hard to. I don't think you replace those guys just because of the talent level that they have and the leadership, obviously, but you more just you still, each guy has to play their game. No one's going to be able to step out and play like Connor Bedard. Everyone's got to play to their strengths and how they can. And like I said at the start, that realize that if everyone plays to their best ability in their own way, that you're going to still have a good chance to win.
Do players lean more on guys like yourself and Dickinson?
Say that again.
Do
players?
Yeah.
No, I mean everyone worries about themselves when they're out there and trying to play their best. And I think minutes change in certain ways for certain guys, but I think everyone's comfortable with whatever role that they're put in and try to take over those minutes to where those guys are out and do the best we can with them.
I mean, in terms of leadership, though.
Yeah, leadership's important. I think we have guys that are still have some guys that play in the league and realize that without some of the vocal presence of guys like Nick and other guys that are out injured, it's important for the room to still stay vocal, and even the bench to stay vocal. I think guys feel that and realize it's important to step up in their own way.
Thank you.
That's Connor Murphy post-game today, explaining the term liberties to Phil.
Liberties.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't sponsor our show.
free ad.
Screw those guys.
What's wrong with you? Someday they will, I'm sure. Maybe not. No, it's always, I like Murphy because he's always like the same.
Yeah.
You never see him like too high, too low. He's very level-headed and thoughtful, and I think he's just so matter-of-fact about the way things are going for the Hawks, where he's like, yes, this sucks. yes, we're all trying to pull together and make the best of it we can. No, like, people are not counting on me and other guys to lead. Like, he just answers questions in an honest way without, like, fluffing it or making it seem like more than it is. I always like to hear from Murphy, and I know that he's not had the greatest season defensively. I think he's been better lately. But I wish Hawks fans would embrace him a little more, because overall, he's been a really big part of this team and has put up with some really crappy eras of Hawks hockey and has never said boo about being unhappy or wanting out.
Yeah, he's even keel as they get. That's why I always get, like, taken aback when Connor Murphy drops the gloves.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, what do you have to do to get that guy mad? Because he's never mad.
X-Max Domi.
Apparently, yeah. So, you know, I think Murphy got off to not a wrong start, but he was put in a bad position for who he was traded for.
Yes.
You got to remember, it was Nicholas Jarmelson for Connor Murphy. That wasn't straight up. There was other thing. But when you're the guy that comes back for a beloved 3-time Stanley Cup winning warrior of a defenseman who Marian Hossa calls the most valuable player of those teams.
Told us that.
He
was in this room.
Right, yeah, the other room where the loser Bears.
Me and him took a picture on this wall.
He's sitting in the chair where the Bears guys are
Can
crying
still
about
smell
another
his
loss.
European cologne.
And he left his button in our urinal. Anyway. But he got
button, not his butt.
He got traded for Jarmelson, so that's a tough. It's hard to live up to that, but there's no doubt in the world, nobody can argue a counterpoint that the Blackhawks won that trade.
No, absolutely.
Like, Jarmelson was not the same player by the time he got to Arizona.
No.
He was all those long Stanley Cup reigns and all that hard play caught up to him when he got there.
Yeah.
And I love me some Nick Jarmelson.
Of course.
But the Blackhawks won that trade. The fact that Jarmelson hasn't even been in the NHL for 2-3 seasons.
No, he's
and Connor Murphy's still playing top pair minutes.
Yeah.
For the Blackhawks. I really would love it if that 25-26 season, Murphy's still here, probably playing hopefully playing in a lesser role, because you've got guys like Vlasic and Korchinski and Allen and Domastro doing what they're supposed to do. I would love it if that season the Hawks make that, like, late charge and get that last wild card spot, even if it's to get swept by who's ever in first, just so Connor Murphy finally gets a playoff. He's never played a playoff game. And for him to end his run with the Blackhawks, most likely, in the postseason, that'd be a good feel-good story for him.
I remember, too, back to the, like, Hjalmarsson thing, one of the internet stat people, like, did let's do a check-in on Connor Murphy versus Nicholas Hjalmarsson. They were almost like identical players in terms of the things that Murphy was doing. And look, like, I'm not saying Murphy was as good as Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Don't get me wrong here. But what I'm saying is, like, maybe if Connor Murphy was the fourth defenseman on the 2010 through 2015 Blackhawks,
their style of play is not that.
It's not very different. And
It's
look,
not.
I think Hjalmarsson was a better shot blocker and a better puck mover and all those things, but he was just on such a bad team and has been on bad teams for so long that it's easy to kind of see why he has not endeared himself to Hawks fans, because for a long time he was their top defensive option. And I think even with Seth Jones here, I think Murphy is still the guy you would count on, up a goal late to be on the ice. But now I think Alex Vlasic has merged into that. I want to talk about him a little bit in this game too, because I think he is maybe already gotten to the point of taking him for granted, because he's not the kind of guy that's going to put up a lot of points, but he is just so steady out there. He's just so solid, so dependable. He has the full faith of the coaching staff, obviously. You played 7 defensemen today, and he still played 25 minutes.
Yeah.
He blocked 5 shots, and he had 3 shot attempts. Like, he did everything. And as soon as he starts to, like, assert himself and get that, like, veteran swagger and starts using his size a little, there was one point today, he was only credited with 1 hit. There was a point today where he just, like, flicked a Calgary Flame, and the guy went, like, flying into the boards. Like, when Vlasic learns to use his strength and is comfortable playing with a little more swagger rather than just like, I'm just going to be the young guy here and do my job. When he starts utilizing that size and strength, he is going to be dangerous. Like, that's another guy that you could see Nicholas Hjalmarsson vibes from. But, oh, yeah, he's 9 feet tall and 40 pounds heavier than Hjalmarsson and stronger.
Got a shot that he
he does.
That he could sneak it on you and maybe put up some points in the future. But, yeah, Alex Vlasic, the patience this current regime have shown with him is paying off. And we need to remember that word for the rest of this season, all of next season, and the season beyond that. Patience with these young players.
Yeah. Lord Hosta says Vlasic is our future shutdown defenseman. He's your current shutdown defenseman.
This is true, too.
Like, he's
doing it right now.
Yeah, that's the guy that I want out there in all key moments.
He's the guy that was out there 6-on-5 at the end. Like, it's not, and he made us all nervous. He had a puck like roll up his stick, and I guess it caught him up in the collarbone area, and he went right to the bench and went right down the tunnel. And I was like, well, we almost made it. And then they took a TV timeout right after that. And by the time the TV timeout was open, he was back on the ice and was literally on the ice for the next shift.
Well, and then Luke said post-game, and you'll hear from him in a little bit here, said like that there was a moment where Luke was afraid to hit him in the throat because there was a minute where it probably hit him right in the collarbone, and that hurts so bad you can't catch your breath. But he said he was having trouble catching his breath, and then got right back out there. So this is just a feel-good win after everything this team has been through over that road trip, to come home and have every excuse to get their dicks kicked in, as they do pretty much every night until this team gets healthy, to come out and there were moments where Calgary had the puck in the Hawks zone for a while, but overall, like, I think the Hawks played really well. I would stop short of calling them the better team, but they were right there. Like, shots on goal were pretty close. Like, it wasn't like this huge laugher. Like, so if you're looking at Corsi percentage, which whatever you want to do, it's shot attempts, 49-39 in favor of the Flames. So that's 55.68 to 44.32. Most Hawks games are worse than that.
Yeah. I
mean, in full strength.
Right. No, it was one of those games where the Hawks didn't feel bad for themselves. They didn't stop playing as soon as they fell from behind, which you've seen them do so many times this year. But it's just a good win that, they're going to catch some teams off guard. They're going to catch some teams that's just going to walk in here and say, it's the Blackhawks. They've got nobody here. We're going to win this game. And, oh, crap, we're down 1-0. It was just weird. Just, we're waiting to get into the room after the game. And, like, the amount of talent that's walking by in suits because they didn't play today. There goes Seth Jones, and there goes
Taylor Hall.
There goes Taylor Hall. There goes Tyler Johnson in a walking boot. There goes Anthony Beauvillier with a cast on his hand. And there goes Andreas Anthony and Taylor Radish. It's like, man.
Yep.
But in case you missed it, Seth Jones, Taylor Radish, Joey Anderson all skated after practice on their own yesterday. And Luke said pregame that they need them to progress now to like a team practice. They're not practicing tomorrow, so there's a chance. It sounded like they're going to all three participate in morning skate Tuesday, but not going to play.
No, practice Wednesday.
Probably. I mean, it's at least sounds like maybe a week before at least 1, 2, or all three of those guys come back.
Yeah.
And that's going to make a big difference because, you're going to have the right amount of forwards and defensemen out there.
Definitely.
Seth Jones is going to stabilize a lot of things on the back end because you're going to be able to put guys, in their right spot. Guys who should be playing third pairing minutes will be playing third pairing minutes instead of first pairing minutes. Like, it's going to stabilize things. And, Anderson and Radish, they're not all-stars. They're not going to turn this season around.
But they're pros.
But they're NHL guys who play hard, and they're going to make a difference.
All right, we should take another break. But is the special video I sent you ready?
It is.
All right, before we take another break, we're going to reward everybody for sticking with us, even though we started late. Here's a video of the puppies from the pregame show, from the pregame festivities in the atrium. Take Take a look at these little guys right here. Now, I will
there's
tell
the
you,
sleeping
the
puppy.
dog laying outside is not dead.
He's alive.
He is alive. There were a couple moments where he picked his head up and said, "What is this? Take me home." From what I understood, he had gone through, I don't know if he or she was either spayed or neutered recently. So I thought it was interesting that they brought the spayed and neutered puppy along. Play it again. I'm not done looking at those puppies.
My favorite is this little like white puppy sheepdog that comes in. He just kept going. Anytime someone reached over to pet another dog, he'd like run over and go, "Hey, what about me? I like getting pet too." There he is. Can never have too many puppies at hockey games.
No.
That was my favorite part of covering Chicago Wolves games.
That was last night,
the
adoption
Adopt a Dog
night.
It was. I think it was pretty much every Saturday night game is Adopt a Dog night.
It was an interesting smell entering the building. But because I could see like one dog had puked, they had like a whole area like roped off. But there were people like getting ready to take dogs home. It was cool. It was dogs make everything better, man. Maybe that's the secret. Dogs just have to have dogs in the building every night, and I'm here for it.
Hey, Blackhawks, did they win the first best day ever game?
I don't remember which one that was. I'm just gonna go on a limb and say probably not. Just playing the percentages.
Because if they're 2-0 with puppies in the house.
See,
then you have to get the puppies in the house and take them on the road.
yeah, well, road puppies.
Road puppies.
I know for sure that Danny and Jamie are watching. We will get to the bottom of this and we'll reveal the answer. But first, you got to stay tuned as we tell you about our friends at Midtown Athletic Club. They've got 4 amazing Chicagoland locations: Palatine in the Northwest Burbs, Bannockburn in the North Shore, Willowbrook in the Southwest Burbs, and Midtown Athletic Club in Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. The Midtown Palatine location has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club that should be done early this year. They're offering no initiation fees this January at their Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook locations. Hear that again. Midtown is offering no initiation fees this January at their Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook locations. Whether you're single, you got a family, you're looking to make some lifestyle changes, or you're looking into holistic wellness, they've got you covered at Midtown. Everything you need. They've got super luxe locker rooms with wet and dry saunas and premium amenities, indoor and outdoor pools and hot tubs. They've got boutique fitness studios with more than 100 classes per week included in your membership. This is not gym quality. Their spaces are boutique quality. They've got yoga. They've got boxing. They got spin and cycling. Everything you need to get yourself in shape mentally and physically. It's an awesome place. Head over to midtown.com/CHGO to find out more and to tour the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you.
And if you want to get fitted out in the best sports gear around, sports merchandise, or a word I made up, Spurch, you should visit our friends at FOCO. FOCO, they have hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between. And according to them, it's still baseball season. Doesn't feel like it outside, but Aloha shirts, straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need for a game. You'll see we've got some bobbleheads on set here. Most of them are out in the Studio A, the Losers Lounge today. This is the Victory Lounge. But FOCO has donated some awesome pieces for our sets, and they'll look great in your home. Either you're at work, maybe you want to decorate your cubicle, or your home office, or your man cave, or whatever. I like the chain. It's very authentic. Yeah, remember him? He was good.
Get rid of him.
They also got a whole line of Connor Bedard bobbleheads, but the only one you could still get maybe
Yeah, we got
is the Michigan goal bobblehead. They've had some others pre-ordered that sold out immediately. It's sold out.
Sold out.
Sold out. I told you. I said it last game. I said it Friday night. By the time we have our next post-game show, it'll probably sold out, and it is. So maybe we'll sell you ours for $500. So check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO10 for 10% off. That checks.
They do have some cool stuff here, though. I'm looking at there's a bathing suit, a floral striped board shorts. They've got floral swimming trunks. Got the canvas slippers here. The
Swimming trunks, perfect for baseball.
backpack, everything. Hey, a Cubs convention next weekend.
Sure.
Which is where they're going to announce Cody Bellinger. I tell myself so I don't cry myself to sleep.
Yep, just like you told me the Bears are going to win today.
I said the Hawks were going to win. I think you misheard me.
You liar. You would not have made that prediction.
Good point. That's a good point.
That prediction would have been worse than the Bears prediction at the time.
That's Totally fair. All right, let's hear from the first star of the game and the hardest working Hawk on this team.
Ever.
It's Colin Blackwell. And here is me holding my phone up high. Keep an eye out as the video goes on, as my hand gets tired and the video gets shakier. Yes.
Good, and a lot of guys stepped up today, and I thought we had a great team effort. And when you do the little things like that, and we get good special teams, we come out with a victory.
When you came back from injury, you were coming out like a house on fire. That made sense. How do you keep doing that every night? A lot of guys don't do that in this league.
Yeah, I said it, I think, when you guys first came and talked to me. I recognize, I've always played like this, but I'm 30 years old, and a lot of people haven't really given me the time of day in my whole career, so I've always kind of played like that, and I play with a chip on my shoulder, and I recognize that, I'm trying to fight for a spot on this team, and then also just trying to, make up for some lost time. I think I don't take the game for granted. I never really did, but when you miss a lot of time, you got a little extra pep in your step, and like I said, a lot of people don't necessarily think very highly of me, and I keep the receipts, and it kind of pisses me off a little bit. So I'm always trying to play. It's not always going to be scoring goals, but you can influence the game in many different ways, and I was just trying to do that every time I step on the ice.
Is that the silver lining of all these injuries? Is everyone's getting a bigger role? You're on the top line right now.
I think you have to think about it that way. It sucks that we had so many guys drop like flies on that road trip, really good players and really good people too, and missing them on game days and stuff like that. But I said it in between intermission, it's kind of one of those things where, it's hard to make it to this league, and it's even harder to stay. So it's a lot of people are getting new opportunities and try to make the most of it, and that's what I kind of try to tell myself and some of the other guys. You're going to play different positions: left wing, right wing, center, shorthanded, power play, and it's that next man up mentality. But when you get an opportunity like this, a lot of people and across a lot of different organizations haven't gotten that opportunity, just because a lot of teams have stayed healthy and stuff. And this is where people get their opportunity to stick in this league, and you got to make the most of those opportunities.
You said it's for this was all for yourself, but did this team also need your kind of tone setter tonight, given the circumstances?
I don't necessarily think that the team needs me per se, but I watched 30 games last year and 30 games this year, and I just kind of saw a little bit of what was missing. Just kind of being, sometimes, like I said, it changes every game depending on what the situation is. When I first suited up, I didn't think I was going to be necessarily playing 18 minutes a night type of thing, and that's when, looking back to last year, depending on how your minutes are, I try to play physical and try to, whenever you see other teams' best players, try to get a lick on them, especially on a team like that, back-to-back, like some of their best players, would travel. You're playing chess, not checkers. It's like the little things that build up towards the end of the game that wears them down, and that's just the way I try to think of the game, and I think that kind of rubs off on some other people and just kind of the energy that I can bring. So I like kind of the energy that I can bring to the room, and I think other guys are feeding off of it too. And I think when people play like that, you just drag people into all the scrums that you kind of get into and cause some havoc. And just that emotion that I kind of play with is something that I just try to bring every single night.
How badly did you want that empty netter?
I wanted it pretty badly, not gonna lie. I feel bad. I left Curry out to dry. I didn't realize he was right over there to my right, but we did a good job protecting the house, and Petey made some great saves, and it was awesome to come up with a win there.
What conversations did you have about just kind of rallying together with the group that you guys have and managing to fight through all the adversity tonight?
Yeah, I think it's like I said, next man up mentality, and it's ever since I came back, I learned from last year that you start gripping the stick a little bit too much, and then all of a sudden you get into a rotation, you're coming in and out of the lineup, it sucks, but you get into maybe a bad mentality, and just tell myself, some of the younger guys, don't be afraid to make a mistake, play on your toes, always be on the forecheck, and always have that reloading and kind of supporting one another. And I think when you do that, other people can feed off of it. It's very direct hockey, and it's easy to play, and a lot of guys stepped up tonight. I thought we did a really good job at the important parts of the ice, the lines, getting pucks in, getting pucks out, and like I said, they played back-to-back, and we knew that, and just putting pucks behind them to kind of wear them down, to hopefully that when we put pressure on them, they would make the mistake. So I think, like I said, a lot of guys stepped up. A lot of young guys, I think, did some things that they're not necessarily known to do, blocking shots, and then also just huge plays, like I said, at the wall, especially at the end of the night. That's huge against a big physical team like that.
With what you've been through in the last year, working your way back, do you have a little extra, do you savor a packed house?
Yeah, it's
cheering
awesome.
for you the way they did today?
Yeah, for sure. definitely, when I was watching the games, you watch underneath here. I didn't watch too many from up top, to be honest with you. I was doing work in between periods, but obviously that national anthem gets everybody going. It gives you chills, and it's something that I think only 8,000 people have ever played in this league. So getting that opportunity to be on that perspective of it, or watching it, it's definitely something I don't take for granted.
Is there a little satisfaction to the outside? You're kind of left for dead without Bedard and Foligno and some others, and then you have a performance like this?
No, I mean, we love those guys, to be honest with you. Bedsy's been awesome for us this year, and Foligno, he's super vocal, and he's been that leader for us, but he also matches it on the ice with the way he plays, and guys like that, especially, Connor's been on the score sheet a lot for us, and he's been the offensive production, and then also, Fliggy's been that kind of, him and Dickey have been the staple for our team, I think. So when you miss guys like that, honestly, it's tough. But like I said, it's next man up mentality, and we're going to miss them for as long as they're gone. They've been huge for us, and that's kind of like the heart and soul of our team. So I think it's important for some guys just to step up when we're getting these more minutes, and you're never going to replace guys like that. But you can do the best to do the best that you can in order to kind of fill some roles and some shoes, but you're never going to replace them, and we're going to miss them for however long they're out.
There's your number one star of the game, Colin Blackwell, and just like we were saying about Murphy, like, this team is full of like really good and thoughtful dudes.
Yeah,
and it's a shame they don't have like a little more talent, but there's a lot of guys on this team that are very likable, and I know that shouldn't matter, and I know we cover the team, we have to be objective, and if
it matters to us because I'd rather talk to guys I like,
than a bunch of
pudwags.
Yeah, exactly. So, we can't let it influence our analysis of the game, and I don't think we do. But when guys like Colin Blackwell have good games, you're genuinely happy for him, even considering like the crap he went through over the last year, the injuries and the setbacks, and he talked about it when he returned to practice, like, October, whatever it was, about the depression he was going through and how he broke down.
He literally held back tears, and had to regain his composure, thinking about the thoughts of laying on his couch, thinking that he might not be able to play again. It's so to see a guy that worked his ass off, and we saw it. I mean, he was practicing with the team forever before he was finally able to. Rejoin the team. And he was there before training camp even started. Remember when we went a couple days before camp for the rookie camp for the Tom Curvers Classic. And there were a bunch of vets skating. Bedard was there. Vinny Hinostroza in his Penguins gear, and JT Compher
was there in his Red Wings gear. That was cool.
Artem Anisimov was wearing
Euro gear.
Yeah, exactly. Some Swiss gear. He scored a goal for the Hartford Wolfpack the other night.
Good for him.
First AHL goal since 2009.
Wow.
I always really enjoyed Artem Anisimov. And seriously, if that was if the Hawks were like, God, we need a vet, and that was the guy they brought in, I would freaking love it.
Well, not now.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, at this point, why not?
They could have used him today. They only had 11
How
forwards.
old is he?
He's like 34, 35.
Is he that young?
He's not as old as you think.
To the internet, he's 35.
Yeah.
All right, sure. Why not?
Just stand in front of the net and let shots hit you in the ass and go in the net.
There you go.
That's what he's done his entire career.
Beautiful. That's exactly what they need. Brian says, saw Greg and Jay in the press box from the 300 level, was tempted to chuck some hot dogs up there. Please do.
Next time, please throw some hot dogs.
Yeah, we had bacon. We could have thrown some bacon on there.
Had bacon hot. Yeah, there's our. Speaking of hot dogs,
someone said hot dogs. Phil Kessel.
Yeah,
what? Somebody say hot dogs?
Hot dogs. Throw some.
Get out of here, Phil.
Chuck some hot dogs at me. We said Chuck hot dogs, not Phil hot dogs.
All right, we have to talk about it because everyone wants to talk about it. Lucas Reichel, who had a big opportunity in this game. He was double shifted, especially early in the game. 19:40 of ice time, 2 shots on goal, 2 takeaways. Credit with a block shot, and he won 1 and lost 0 faceoffs. That's 100%. There was a egregious moment of him not shooting the effing puck that I think for the first time I had a Mario Tirabassi-esque reaction and just put my head in my hands. It was like, are you effing kidding me? And we're not supposed to react in the press box, and I was guilty of it. I was just like, how in the hell do you, Lucas Reichel, despite your stats, the most offensive player on this roster, fucking shoot?
Yeah,
my God, dude. Like, what are you waiting for?
That one was egregious. It was wide open. It wasn't on a power play, too.
I believe it was on a power. I wrote,
mean,
you know what? I
it
actually have it in here. I've got my notes.
It was a bad one. It was one of those where...
It's when Pospisil
Yeah.
tripped somebody.
Pos pistol.
I wrote, Lucas Reichel, please shoot, in all caps.
Yeah. It was bad, and even the most staunch Lucas Reichel supporters, which I'll put myself in that category. I want this kid to
I'm not giving up on him either.
Because the Blackhawks need him to succeed. Like, the rebuild isn't a failure if he doesn't, but, you know, it won't hurt right now for him to pass that up. Again, just that is glaring red flag that this kid has zero confidence. We've seen that with other 21-year-old high draft picks in the past.
Yeah.
Where they just played with no confidence. And, you know, we got people here and all over the internet declaring that he's a bust. He's 21 years old. 21-year-old players usually play very inconsistent. Unfortunately, it's been pretty consistent for Reichel, consistently not good, which you don't want to see. But he's 21 years old, and he has still played less than a full season in the AHL.
Right.
72 games. In 72 career games, 10 goals, 14 points, 14 assists, 24 points. If this was a rookie player that played a full season, put up those numbers, you'd be like, okay, there's some hope there. But I know it's frustrating, but this is going to be his time because he is the most talented offensive player as far as raw talent goes that they have. And it shows because Luke Richardson gave him 24 shifts today. Only one forward had more shifts than him, and that was Jason Dickinson. So, you know, you guys want to give up on him, fine. Go give up on him. But if he comes back and says, you know, and lives up to his potential and starts becoming a top 6 forward, just like Colin Blackwell, I'll keep the receipts and be like, nope, you can't cheer for that goal. You gave up on him.
Yeah, so 24 points in 73 games. I'm just going back for comparison's sake because it's a comparison we make a lot. Teuvo Teravainen. First year is 19 years old, played 3 games, no points, fine. His 20-year-old season, 34 games, 9 points. His 21-year-old season, 78 games, 35 points. So they're on a similar, not identical, but remember, Teuvo Teravainen was on the 2013 through 2016 Blackhawks.
There's where the difference is, like, Teuvo was not getting the opportunities Reichel's getting.
Well, average ice time, let's see. So first year was 3 games, don't even count that. Second year was 12:47 average ice time. Third year was 15:27 or 15:21. So what is Reichel averaging right now? I'm going to look right here. His average ice time is 14:31. That's for this year. So it's about the same as what Teuvo was getting in his first full season with the Hawks.
That ice time is going to go up. I mean, he played almost 20 minutes today, and that's probably going to be the norm until, until more bodies start showing up.
Yeah.
And he can keep that number there for the rest of the year if he starts producing.
But overall, though, like, passing up that shot was horrible. Like, make no mistake, but I saw a lot of good from him in this game, too. And there's a lot of moments, too, where you see what the thought is. You see what Reichel is thinking. Like, okay, I got the puck along the boards. I'm going to put a little pass through my legs here. Sometimes it's to no one. Sometimes teammates aren't ready for it. And we say this about Connor Bedard a lot, where, hey, he made a great pass, but a teammate wasn't there. Connor Bedard everyone loves Connor Bedard. He's immediately great, as was expected. And so people are going to go to the wall for him, even when he doesn't have a great game. Reichel's kind of the opposite because he hasn't delivered it as promised yet. And so when he has the plays where, hey, that was actually a really heads-up play, just no one was ready for it, it's like, oh, another turnover for Reichel, right? It's looked at in a different way. And I'm not comparing the two and saying that Reichel is as good or as creative offensively as Bedard is, but I saw 4, 5, 6 moments in this game alone where I'm like, damn, you know what? I see what he was trying to do there, and just no one picked up on it, or it just missed, or it, maybe it hit a skate on the way to the open player. Like, the mindset is there. I saw him going to the net frequently in this game, but what frustrates me is even when we have these post games and say, hey, didn't Reichel seem better? We go to the sheet and it's like no points, 2 shots, 3 shot attempts. It's like that every night. He just needs to be more aggressive. And when I say aggressive, it's like, dude, take it upon yourself to build your stats. Do it. Be the guy. Be the guy, especially now. With Bedard out and Foligno out, like you said, Greg, he's going to get these opportunities offensively. Now is the time for him to take this by the nuts and take his role in the top 6 back. Because if he doesn't produce during this little phase for the 4 to 6 or whatever, how many weeks it is when Bedard's out and Foligno's out, Luke Richardson has every reason to doubt that it's going to come. And look, like coaches, yeah, Luke is patient, and we all know it's a rebuild and all those sort of things, but at some point, coaches run out of patience. Now, it doesn't really matter if Luke does. What matters is if Kyle Davidson does. But remember, Lucas Reichel's not a Kyle Davidson pick.
No.
There's no commitment there from him. He didn't, go out on a limb and take Reichel in the draft or anything like that. I'm not giving up on him, but this little window here where he's going to be the man offensively, I really want to see him take advantage of it. Like, don't you think, let's say Bedard misses 4 weeks. If Reichel can say, so 4 weeks would be just top of my head, like, let's say
16 games.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
If he comes up with 10 points, okay.
That's a good stretch.
That's something. That's a good stretch. And it's not like
10
astronomical.
10 points in 15 games, Luke Richardson would be doing cartwheels
Yes.
down Madison. If
Yes.
you saw that. I think Philipp said earlier that Lucas Reichel is supposed to be a point per game player. I don't know where you read that. Nobody ever said that.
No.
He was a point per game guy in the AHL. There are currently 45 guys averaging a point per game in the NHL right now. Nobody ever projected Lucas Reichel to be one of the best 45 players in the entire league.
Especially at 21. And even if, my thought is if Reichel maxes out, he's like a usually 60-something point guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's never been projected to be a point per game guy.
Nobody thought he was going to be a point per game guy. I don't know if that was from a scouting report. Stop reading that person's scouting report.
I mean, he was taken 17th overall, and I think even at the time it was like that might have been a little soon for Reichel.
Well, it was a he who shall not be named pick. So
it's got to be.
Probably was 30 or 40 picks too soon.
Do you want to play who was taken after him? It's not as bad as you think.
Not that draft class is funky.
Not a good Dawson Mercer. Obviously, you'd rather have him.
Yes,
that was the 18th pick.
Yes, I believe that was the guy I wanted at that point.
Yeah, Braden Schneider, Shakir Mukhamadullin.
Sure,
there has not played a game. Igor Chanikov, Hendricks Lapierre, just a great name. Connor Zary has been good, but he's only played 30 games. Jake Neighbors, Hawk Killer, but 26 points in 90 games. Like, there really aren't.
26 points in 90 games. That's like
that's less than Reichel.
Yeah. But that 2020 class is strange because
it's not a good draft.
I mean, but look at the guy at the top of that draft. Look at the top guys. The 2 guys at the top of that draft, Lafreniere and Byfield, are both just finally getting it this season with a lot more games than Reichel has played. Tim Stützle is the best player of that draft class.
You gotta say it like Elliot Friedman.
How's he say it again?
Stützle. He's gonna play for Detroit someday.
Yeah, but I just think there's gotta, and the 2020 class, that draft class was drafted in the middle of the COVID pandemic.
This is an all-time bad draft class.
Well, it's not great because I think COVID skewed so many scouting reports, and those guys weren't able to train like they would.
Yeah.
Their first year, and then the 2021 draft class is going to be a little skewed too because you're trying to scout off of guys playing in COVID type seasons where those guys are going to be, you're going to see guys in that 21 draft class that probably drafted in the 5th round that in normal circumstances might have been a 2nd, 1st rounder and vice versa. Yeah, but the 2020 draft is not an all-timer.
2021 is much better. Owen Power, Matty Beniers, Mason McTavish, Luke Hughes, Kent Johnson. Like this class has already produced more, at least in the first round. Like Cole Sillinger. Lafreniere, like you said, Stützle's good. Lucas Raymond's been good. But overall,
Lucas Raymond's been good, but Lucas Raymond's been very inconsistent in his career too. That's what young hockey players usually are usually inconsistent.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I mean, I wish Lucas Reichel was inconsistent because that means that at least there's flashes of good. We haven't seen many of that. I think he has been consistent this year, but not the way you want him to be.
I still just cling to the end of last season and how good he was.
Yeah, and there's still half a season to go, and let's see how it goes. And I don't think they're not going to trade him because why trade him now? His value has never been lower. You're not going to get anything for him. So bring him back on a Philipp Kurashev type prove-it deal and see what happens.
Yep. All right, let's hear from Luke Richardson. Then to end the show, we're going to have a little fun at the expense of Calgary fans. Can we do that?
It's easy today.
All right, here is Luke Richardson post-game today. I did cut off the end. I thought he was done, but he wasn't. He said, I did leave my wine in the locker room. He said that. So here's Luke.
Such a rough go with results and injuries and everything, and how much do you guys just need a game like this?
Yeah, and I think it was really gutted out right to the end. I would have loved an empty net goal just to ease things at the end, but we got it right to the end, and I thought the guys deserved it. I felt it coming in Madison Square Gardens against the Rangers, a really strong team, much improved play, harder play, and again in New Jersey, a real hard-fought game, and down a few bodies as well. So tonight, still not ideal. You don't go on 11-7. It's kind of difficult. Forwards get tired, and D get out of rhythm of playing as much. But all those distractions didn't distract our focus for what we needed tonight at all costs just to get this win.
Did everyone get out of here unscathed? Or
everything's good. The trainer came in after, and we told him to get out really quick. But he said, no, all good news tonight. Everything's okay as of now.
Were you holding your breath when you saw Vlasic there at the end?
Yeah, that's a scary situation when a puck rides up your stick. I was hoping it didn't hit him in the throat, and I think it hit it more closer to the collarbone, but it's a scary moment when you can't swallow and breathe for a second. But he was great and gutted it out at the end.
Blackwell is kind of exemplifying the spirit of the team lately, with just guys playing above their pay grade, and he was obviously kind of leading the effort tonight. What kind of impact did he make?
He's been unbelievable since he's been back. I think he was frustrated that it took so long to get back, but he did all the right things to get in shape. I was on the ice one day with the injured guys, and he really pushes, and he does all the right things in the gym and prepares himself. So I'm glad to see him have some success here. He finally started to have some a little bit at the end of last year, and then he had to shut himself down for surgery. So I'm glad it's kind of picked up where he left off, but it's all by pure desire by him. He's a heart and soul type of player, and sometimes it's like his teammates or the coaching staff have to settle him down a little bit on the bench. He gets revved up, but that's good. It gets everybody's spirits up and pushing in the right direction.
Blackwell said that he's kept receipts for all the people that kind of overlooked him. Do you see that with him, and do you kind of feel like that yourself for the team?
You know what? I think for Blackie himself, he's not a big guy, but he's really strong, and he's all fire, and he knows the game very well. He makes the right plays a lot of the time, and he's saying all the right things on the bench. He's giving us information on the bench. You can't take the face off on this side because this guy's 75% on the face-off. Something he knows stats, and it's great. So it means he's up on the game. He's ready to play. As for our team, I think that's the way we got to be right now. We got to be the underdog and play that card, and just like we did a bit at the end of last year. We got to come into the game expecting to win, and the other teams might be take us a little lightly. But I think the way we started the first shift of the game is indicative of how we're going to have to play against these teams. Catch them off guard, put them back, and then it's hard for them to kind of regroup sometimes and get everything going forward. If they think they're superior than our team, they just get more frustrated as the game goes along because we got the better start and we're kind of on a better flow, and they have to chase that and change it and turn it around, which is hard to sometimes stop momentum when it's going against you.
You didn't even have Sanford on the radar yesterday when we talked to you after practice, and he's out there getting power play minutes. What do you think of him, and did you know much about him before he got here?
No, just I remember seeing him, when he started his career in St. Louis, and they had a great year that year and won the Stanley Cup. He played in the finals, scored in the final game. Things kind of haven't been so smooth for him since. I know that team was kind of dismantled, and I think he's kicked around in Ottawa and Arizona and different places, and it just hasn't sparked for him. But he's a big body that's looks like an intelligent hockey player, and we're just hoping that we can give him an opportunity. And sometimes when people get a next opportunity, they make the most of it. And we're looking forward to it. And he was really excited last night. Texting back to me saying that he couldn't wait to get here and start right away.
Mrazek, the last goal was kind of tough, but how big was he during stretches where you guys were protecting that?
Yeah, great, especially the last power play by them. Really solid down low and smothering that one at the end, because sometimes when the guy comes out of the box, you still don't get set, and it gave us a chance to reset there. So he's been great for us all year, amazing, and he's not just stopping the puck. He communicates with the D on the bench at timeouts, and that's great. He doesn't just do his own weird goalie thing and put his head down, towel over, and go back and focuses on his thing. He knows the game well, and he has to have good communication with the D. So I like how he approaches the game and helps the coaching staff out there.
With the Zaitsev, you've talked about right now needing goals anywhere you can get them. What you think of that bank shot that he had?
Yeah, no, it's just shooting the puck. I think I talked about it the other day that if we just keep shooting the puck and playing simple, straight-ahead hockey, things were going to bounce in for us a little bit, and that's a good example of that. And you don't have to tell him to shoot it twice. Like he's not afraid to shoot the puck, and that's what we need to do right now. We have to probably get maybe a few more bodies in front of the net. A few of the shots we had tonight, I think Tinner had one off a face-off. We got to get a body in there so the goalie doesn't see it. But I think that one by Zaitsev, you never know. It goes off. It's done that to us for about a month now. It's been going off of us into our own net, so it's good timing for us to get that one tonight.
How do you think the 7D were managed?
It's hard, Philly was the last guy who kind of slotted in, so he wasn't going to get as much ice time as the other guys. But at the end of the game, when it's tight, you almost go down to 4, so that cuts the minutes again. But you know what, the guys played well when they were called upon, and that's all we can ask for in a tough situation.
And the forwards, sometimes some of them looked a little gassed, like Kurashev and Donato.
Yeah, and even Dickey at the end. That's why we took the timeout. It was important to have them rested for that last minute, and they did a fantastic job. They didn't even have to get a change. I thought we got the job done, but we had the next line ready to go, but we just thought they were our top 3, and they've done a great job that with Lindholm and Huberdeau and those guys going to be on the ice, and that's who they played against most of the night. We wanted them to have at least that 30-second timeout to refresh and finish it off, and they did. And
that was where he's talking about the wine.
Yes.
I cut it off.
Yes. In case you're wondering, that reference is from Luke again yesterday, saying that he's been coping with this through exercise and wine.
Well,
in that order.
And Mario tweeted, "Who of us aren't?" And I said, I'm doing neither.
Yeah, I don't exercise. I do wine, but it's with an H.
Fair enough. I got a $5 super chat from LNK. He says, Vlasic's next contract, do the Hawks lock him up for the max term? That's a good question.
I mean, you can maybe come to him at 6 for 36, and that could be a bargain
at the end of it.
Or you go, we'll give you the bridge deal that takes you to the last year of RFA, then give you that big 6-year deal. But at that point, it could be a 48.
What I'm doing is signing as many guys before I have to sign Bedard.
Yes.
Guys that I know are guys I like Vlasic. I'm saying, I like that 6 for 6 a lot, because Bedard is his next deal will probably be a massive deal. There's not going to be a bridge deal for Connor Bedard.
No.
That's not going to happen.
It's going to be whatever the max that we can give you, we're going to give you. And we'll find a way to give you more. I'd approach Vlasic and be like, 6 years, $36 million right now.
Today.
Let's avoid the bridge deal.
Yep.
You'll be a UFA at the end of that.
You get security.
27, 28. And then the last 4 years of that deal is a bargain.
I'm down for that. Seriously, you've got to get as many guys locked up long term for cheap as you can, as you make room for the next Bedard deal. Someone's asking when Gutman's contract is up, end of this year.
6 for 36. No, I'm kidding.
Arbitration eligible, restricted free agent.
He's an RFA.
If they want him back, it will be for very little.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. All right, we got ready to declare a winner, Steven, for the chat's 4-star.
Good question. Let me see. It is really close today, though. Yeah, we do have a winner.
All right, who do we got?
I don't have the drum roll. We're just gonna have to slide in.
The little horn. There you go.
Oh, nice sliding save by Peter Mrazek.
Nice
yeah,
job, Petey.
That third goal. He's hugging the post and the shot kind of.
I don't know
through.
how that one got through. But
Didn't love it.
No, but considering that he made 5 or 6 really great saves.
Yeah,
dude, that last power play the Flames had late in the third period. You needed Peter Mrazek to be your best penalty killer, and he was.
He was great. He was great. Yeah,
yeah. Good stuff. More good stuff from Mrazek. What a great story he's been this year.
Yeah.
We saw flashes of this last year, but the problem was he'd have 2 or 3 games in a row like this, and then, oh no, he's too ouchy again.
Yeah.
But he was really good today. And again, another guy that you just feel happy for when he has success because he's a great human being.
Well, you know what, Greg? That's a good segue. You're a good human being, and I'm happy when you have success. And you are the winner of Who's Your Hawk today. You picked new guy,
Stanley Cup winner,
Zach Sanford, who had the game-winning assist on the power play. I had Lucas Reichel trying to will it into existence. It did not work. Mario had Alex Vlasic, right?
Yes.
Who had an assist, but the primary power play assist is the tiebreaker. And
he's not here to argue.
Greg's winner, exactly. So there you go. There's your winner for Who's Your Hawk. That is your 12th win, Greg. Mario has 17, and I have 11. So we both have some work to do.
We got to catch up.
Yeah, you and I just need to team up and catch Mario one way or another.
Yeah.
So
we need to make this interesting down, but we still got half a season to go.
Yeah,
long way to go.
Actually, 42 games to go.
Well,
the next game they play will be the halfway mark of the season, which is crazy. Speaking of that, tomorrow we're on at 2:30. We're not done yet, but just want to give people a heads up. We are doing a mailbag show, so hit us up on Twitter. That we'll pin that tweet tonight, so you can find it very easily. Respond to that tweet. Email us blackhawks@allchgo.com.
If you're a diehard, head to the Discord. You'll get first priority.
Of course. So mailbag show, me and Greg tomorrow at 2:30. All right, now let's laugh at the Calgary Flames, shall we? Sure. Found this on the elevator leaving the United Center. The Calgary Flames just tweeting their final score with not a lot of context. It just says final and a graphic of Brett Sini driving against the Calgary Flame. And we're just going to go through some of the comments. Neeler, who is a NHL esports guy, I don't know if you know that. He says, "That's it. I'm tired of this team. Time to sell. I think the first move we need to make is moving Hanifin to Toronto for a 7th and retaining 50% of his contract." Love that one. Tyler says, "Hawks down 9 starters. LOL."
I didn't know you can start 9 guys. The Hawks should look into that.
Wayne says, "How do you lose to the AHL Blackhawks? It's time to sell. How do you lose to the Rockford Ice Hogs?" It's just a lot of fun when it's someone else feeling the pain. It's a nice feeling, if only for one night.
A serious team doesn't lose this game. There's a lot of clown gifts in here. I'm going to scroll right past those. I hate clowns.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
You lost to the Chicago Blackwells.
How do they lose to an actual AHL team? And it's got the cap-friendly injured list on there. For one night, it's not us. It's a nice feeling.
And even if it is us, we've got excuses.
Well, yeah,
we've got 9 excuses.
Well, it was I enjoyed the New Jersey Devils Wayne's World L graphic they made, but it's like you're really taunting about.
I'm like, it took you 48 minutes to beat an AHL roster down 2 forwards. Yeah. And then they got their dicks kicked in by the Canucks the following night, and Jack Hughes is hurt. So,
that's not good.
Karma.
Yep, there you go.
She always wins.
All right, we're back tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. Thanks, everybody, for being patient. It didn't seem like there was like a massive drop-off from viewers after our delayed.
No, actually, we have a ton of viewers, and everyone that's watching this now could go right over to CHGO Bears. They have over 5,000 people watching
Well,
right
hit
now.
the like button for us before you go.
Yes.
Please do that.
Join into the gripe fest that I'm sure is that chat right now.
Yeah, we got to all of our super chats, right, Steven?
Yes, we did.
All right, good. We're back tomorrow at 2:30. Where get your questions in. If you don't do it on Twitter at CHGO_Blackhawks, on our Discord or email, just jump into the chat. And if we've got time, we'll get some chat questions answered as well. So we'll talk to you then. We want to remind you that the CHGO Blackhawks show is powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. And I am about to go devour some more of the Smoked Staff Barbecue. Want to thank them again, Mark Stafford and everybody there, for bringing food to us. Follow them on Instagram at SmokeStaff. I'm going to go down some pork, some brisket, whatever else is out there. It's going in my belly. So we'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.